TikToks that banged like 2 months ago, you know, I feel like the algorithm is so much worse on YouTube Shorts and even Reels. They're just like pure slop. Speaking of slop, Jasmine Crockett is posting weird AI-generated diaper diplomacy videos on Instagram now. I wrote about diaper diplomacy earlier this year and how they're quietly become a politics YouTube behemoth. Jake the Rizbot, Timu Project 2025, Ice Block, Summer Ween, X's new shit poster in chief, 24 karat gold Labubu heist, princess treatment, Indonesian aura farming, and how Glastonbury is shaping culture. What are the words coming out of your mouth, man? Okay, context clues, man. This is, I guess, diaper diplomacy is a style of content that's like AI generated where they babify, they turn all the politicians into babies, and it's basically popping off on YouTube Shorts, I suspect. Here it is, diaper diplomacy. This is and if you look at their shorts, I mean, they are doing fairly well, it seems. Why are they putting babies into AI? Do they not get how bad this is? It's basically like cat videos for boomers, but for babies. I mean, it's still for boomers. This is boomer slop. Here, let's take a look.
You know, AOC, look, I think she's very nice, but she's very low IQ. And we really don't need low IQ. Between her and Crockett, we're going to give them both an IQ test to see who comes out best. Now, I took my test. I took a real test at Walter Reed Medical Center.
The baby doctor's reaction. The doctor looking like, that's not what I told you. No one takes an IQ test at a hospital. It's the doctor's reaction that does it for me. Absolutely love the baby doctor. You know who's watching this shit? Your mom. My mom. My mom is luckily not on YouTube. Like, she doesn't fuck with YouTube Shorts, but like on IG Reels, sometimes I'll peek over while we're watching like a TV show or something, and I catch her looking at IG Reels, and it's just AI slop. And I'll be like, Mom, you know that's AI, right? And her response is always, well, it's cute. I know it's AI, but it's cute. There's some about it that just like, that tickles the curiosity part of boomer brains. And I think Zoomer brains as well. Like, if Gen X is the lead poison generation that just like spikes when it comes to violence and ultra violence for some weird reason, like they're worse than the boomers and they're worse than the millennials and whatnot, and they just are the solid base of support for Trump, I would go so far as to say that millennials, older Gen Z, and younger millennials are the only generation that basically was there when we transitioned from not having your computer in your hand all the time to having your computer in your hand all the time. And therefore, we were able to deal with some of this stuff a little bit better than I think Zoomers and Gen Alpha is dealing with it. Because I used to think the next generation will be way more tapped in to bullshit online, not realizing that, no, this is all they know. So they actually have a less of a... They are not very good at scrutinizing information that they're experiencing. Like my generation, millennials and older Gen Z as well, we saw our parents and our grandparents get like duped by email chains and shit like that. So we were like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like people are constantly scamming on the internet. We know that, right? Whereas I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha are either aware of the scams that are happening and they want to become the scammers themselves, or just like somewhat oblivious. Like they have less of a nose for this kind of thing, I think, especially young Gen Z and Gen Alpha in general. They're more tech illiterate than I thought they would be as well. I thought they would be super, super tech literate. Not the case. And I don't know why. It's almost like there is this one generation slammed in between that was like forced to be both tech literate and also exist in a world where tech wasn't as advanced. I would go so far as to say like the reason why I'm bracketing off like older Gen Z versus younger Gen Z is specifically because of COVID. If you were in the COVID schooling era, you're kind of cooked, depending on exactly when COVID hit and like what part of schooling COVID hit. I don't know what Gen Alpha is going to look like in general. Yeah, Gen Z versus Zillennials, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. We had computer classes. We had touchscreens since birth. Yeah. Oldest Gen Zs were finishing college when COVID hit. Yeah, exactly. Oldest Gen Zs are like 27, 28 right now. They suck at tech. Some Gen Z don't even own a PC. They have their phone and maybe a tablet or Chromebook. Yeah, they do a lot. They do everything on their phones. I will give you a telltale marker of whether or not you have a difference in generation. There are certain things that I do on a computer that I don't think you should be doing on a phone. It's stupid, and Gen Z is probably smarter. Buying plane tickets. I've never in my life ever purchased a plane ticket on a phone. I have to sit down to buy a plane ticket. I have to sit down in front of a laptop or sit down in front of a PC to purchase a plane ticket. Zoomers, on the other hand, do it on their phones. To me, that's crazy. I feel like something as significant as purchasing a plane ticket must be conducted in like a sit-down manner. If you're engaging in any kind of like online shopping where you're making big purchases, you got to sit down for it. Crack the knuckles. Editing, things like that, video editing, things such as that, making YouTube videos. Those are all supposed to be sit down in front of a computer type events. For Zoomers, they just go boop, 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 boop. They do it on their phones. It's much faster, right? It's much faster. They don't give a shit. They can just like nail it. They got CapCut, whatever. Sometimes they just edit it on the software that exists within TikTok. I don't fully understand it. Okay, they purchase their airplane tickets on the phones. They do everything on the phones. Okay. In any case, the reason why we're looking at diaper diplomacy is because Jasmine Crockett, running for Texas Senate, has posted a diaper diplomacy video that is literally 2 minutes and 17 seconds long. Let's take a look.
Trump's toughest choice was between Chantilly lace or alabaster for his billionaire ballroom. The American people have been watching, and even those who weren't watching, they felt the effects and know the pain. Trump's unpopular policies will cost him the Republican majority in the Congress. He knows that, and that's why he called Greg Abbott and said, I need 5 seats from Texas.
Damn, that's a baby in a wheelchair, dude. That's a little baby in a wheelchair. Saddest story ever told. Shortest sad story ever told. Little baby in a wheelchair. Childhood polio.
Seats from Texas. I'm entitled to them. And Abbott got right to it. Well, Trump, I know you're watching, so let me tell you directly, you're not entitled to a damn thing in Texas. You better get to work because I'm coming for you. He knew he would lose, so Trump did what he always does. Resort to lying, cheating, and stealing. He has rigged our elections once again by changing the lines in the middle of an election cycle. And the cherry on the top, Trump drew me out of my home district. I know he's tired of me holding him accountable, dismantling.
I mean, this is a person who knows her audience really well, by the way. If you look at the demographic breakdown in the current Senate primary poll in Texas, ages 18 to 35 are overwhelmingly on Tallarico's side, and then all the boomers are on the Jasmine Crockett side, right? They want someone who is, the clapback queen that says, Donald Trump, you're orange man, you're lame, right? They see that as like the peak of fighting back against the authoritarian nature of Trump. Now, this isn't to glaze Tallarico either. I don't know if Tallarico himself is like, an actual fighter or someone who is a real one, right? Someone who is genuinely invested in any sort of real left flank politics at all.
Lies, and I know he's tired of me breaking through to millions of Americans, tired of me getting people out to vote, tired of me living in his head rent-free. Well, Mr. President, you couldn't beat me at the ballot box. And so, as y'all know, a judge that you appointed, Mr. President, he said your maps were unconstitutional, but you ran it up to your loyal activist cronies at the Supreme Court and snatched representation away from almost 500,000 people I represented right here in CD30. Well, I'm here to tell you, Donald Trump, you won't get rid of me that easily. I'm not going away. I'm not giving up. I still believe in this country.
Yeah, they babified it, basically. It's just AI slop, right? But this shit is, this is catnip for the boomers, okay?